Good afternoon and welcome to Ghana Votes. Ghana Votes is Graphic Online's comprehensive coverage of the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections. My name is Kweku Zorik, and with me in the Graphic Online studios on the Graphic Road is...
My name is Maurice Kwanzaa. Happy to be with you on this momentous day.
So we'll be bringing you all the latest news and developments from across the nation as Ghanaians head to the polls. From critical incidents to how faith communities are balancing civic duties, we have a packed broadcast for you. Indeed, we will be diving into key stories, including an EC official who has been arrested in Kintampo South, a weapon possession case at a polling station, and clarifications from the EC chairperson herself, plus how one religious group is navigating the election day overlap with their Sabbath. Let's get right into it. But before then, here's a recap of this morning's key moments as voters cast their ballots across the country today. In the morning, we started off with the Vice President and presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, casting his ballot at the Periga Presby polling station in Wale Wale. He was surrounded by party officials as he expressed confidence in a fair election process and encouraged Ghanaians to exercise their rights. Next off, we had the running mate of the National Democratic Congress, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, voting in Commenda. She said this marked another moment of participation from the country's key political figures. She also expressed confidence in the electoral process so far. We also had another presidential aspirant candidate, Kwabena Andrews of the Ghana Union Movement, voting in Odoko. He urged all the parties to ensure peace during the election process and condemned any acts of violence. Elsewhere in Kaswa, we also had the incumbent MP for Ewutu Senya West, Mavis Hawakumsin. She voted at the Catholic JHS. She expressed confidence in a fair election as she faced off with her rival, Felix Nakoyo Okono of the NDC. Their matchup is a rematch of the 2020 elections. Elsewhere in Accra, the Electoral Commission opened results collation to the media. In an effort to increase transparency, the EC has allowed all media houses to participate in the collation room. Then we headed off to Ladade Kotopon, where there were some allegations of busing voters, which led to a brief altercation this morning at the container at Chado. Thanks to the swift intervention of police and military personnel, the situation was resolved and voting resumed without further issues. We also reported on some challenges which affected smooth voting in some parts of the countries. While some polling stations experienced delays due to logistical issues such as ink shortages at Kokobite, the overall voting process has remained smooth, with strong voter turnout across the country. Elsewhere in the north, we also had reports from Tamale and Bolgatanga, which indicated that voting is proceeding without disruptions, with polling stations being accessible to persons with disabilities and elderly voters. Special provision was also made for vulnerable voters. Examples are lactating mothers, people with sight challenges, the elderly, as they were allowed to cut the line, and people who had queued as early as 3 a.m. allowed them to vote. First-time voters also received support, especially in Cape Coast North and the Bono region. Those were the highlights of our 11 a.m. updates this morning. Now, let me head off to my co-host, Mr. Kwanzaa. Any highlights from this morning's report so far?
I think generally from reports we've monitored and also from our reporters dotted across the country speak of very smooth process. One of the key standouts is that unlike previous elections, we don't have that long crowd. So there's a speed of the process has been speeded up. I'll say that I've been privileged to have participated in all the elections since 1992. Today, it didn't take me more than 6 minutes to go through the verification, do the voting, presidential, parliamentary, and then from what I monitored on my way to the office, especially within the Jokuku constituency, within minutes, the whole process is. So hopefully we are going to have an election that will end, apart from probably a few places where people will come late to vote. You also spoke about some people who have a conflict between their religious duties and their civic duties. But I'm hoping that by 5 we should have closed it, and then we'll get counting done, and then the results declared as quickly as possible.
Yes, and in the morning we also saw visuals of the main contenders in today's election casting their ballots. I'm speaking about the NDC candidates, John Dramani Mahama, who voted in Bole, as well as the Dr. Baumia, the NPP's candidate, voting in Wale Wale. What do you think this adds to the process, as they went out there early enough to vote and urge others to also head in to cast their ballots?
I think it's always been so, and since 1992, when we had for President Rawlings, then Flight Lieutenant Rawlings, when he was doing that transition. So the cameras will be, they are the key contenders, so the cameras will be on them. And it's also important symbolically that they go among the first to vote, to rally their supporters to come and do so. I think it's going to ginger up their supporters, particularly at the polling stations where they went through the process, and then once the message goes around, it's going to urge their loyalists to go and follow it too. But it's very significant that we saw them, everything went smoothly, and very often, as had been the practice, they'll have a little interaction with the media, urging people to go. But I think so far, it's something we should all be proud of.
Before we head into our first story, I would like to remind viewers that this broadcast is sponsored by the Graphic News Plus app. For all your authentic and accurate news stories on today's election, download the Graphic News Plus app on the Apple App Store as well as the Google Play Store. Now let's head into our first story, which takes us to Kintampo South constituency in the Bono East region, where an Electoral Commission official has been arrested for allegedly issuing defective ballot papers. The details are quite troubling. The suspect, Derry Joseph, reportedly distributed about 15 ballot papers that omitted the name of the presidential candidate. The police have assured the public of a thorough investigation to uncover the motive behind this incident. Now, Mr. Kwanzaa, do you think this incident could undermine voter confidence, particularly in that electoral area?
It can, and particularly Kintampo, if you followed our election process, that area has always been strongly fought. There's a lot of suspicion. So this one adds to the conspiracy theories. I am particularly pleased that the security agencies went in, they are investigating to uncover what the motives are, and I don't know what will happen to those ones already issued. I don't know who really flagged it, but it speaks to the vigilance of everybody, including the security apparatus. You realize that today we've had a press conference from the security as well as the EC. Yes. It helps to assure people that they are on top of the issues, that there are no, I mean, there's always going to be conspiracy theory, but it helps in improving the integrity and confidence in the system. Is something we need to continually do, and it's good that everybody is vigilant. The media is vigilant, security is vigilant, and all relevant stakeholders are vigilant.
Okay, so we'll be heading for a short commercial break, and when we come back, I have a breaking news story that you need to stay tuned to catch. So let's take that commercial break.
A great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact, and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home sweet home. Welcome family and friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications. Graphic, truth and accuracy every day. Information is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact, and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home sweet home. Welcome family and friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications. Graphic, truth and accuracy every day. Information is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact, and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home sweet home. Welcome family and friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications. Graphic, truth and accuracy every day. Information is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact, and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home sweet home. Welcome family and friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications. Graphic, truth and accuracy every day. Information is a great...
Yeah, so before the commercial break, I told you about a breaking news story that has come in. It's still related to election security, and I'm just reading off a statement issued by the Ghana Police Service, where the police has arrested 4 persons in connection with a shooting incident at Nyankpala in the northern region. The Ghana Police Service has this afternoon arrested 4 persons, namely Majid Isha, Fodi Isiage Kamara, Yakubu Sumaila, and Alhaji Bashiru Mohammed in connection with a shooting incident at Nyankpala in the northern region, which led to the death of 1 person and the injury of another. The injury victim is currently receiving medical care while the body of the deceased is taken to the morgue for preservation and autopsy. The suspects are currently in custody and assisting the police with investigation. Another troubling security incident. But before I head off to Mr. Kwanzaa, let me say we've been joined on set by the editor of Graphic Online, Mr. Enoch Dafa Primpon. You are welcome, Enoch.
Thank you, quickly.
Yeah, Mr. Kwanzaa, before Enoch comes in, another disturbing incident. 4 persons arrested in Nyankpala.
Yes, it's good that security moved in swiftly, but it's very disturbing to hear that there's been a life lost,
Yes.
considering what happened, some unresolved issue in 2020 during the election where 8 people reportedly died. One life too many. And I think we need to be extra vigilant. The security should be extra vigilant, particularly when it gets to sorting out, counting. That's where we have some of those skirmishes at the polling station. It's one life too many. We should exercise our civic responsibilities, but not at the expense of human lives.
And these are some of the reports that many election watchers didn't want to see. Reports of another death in Ghana's electoral process. Very sad.
It is very sad. In fact, we must say that the elections in itself, in general, have been going very well, apart from maybe a brief that some stations in the, I think, not about 5 or so, based on Kode's report and then review and our own reports, where voting started after 7:15 a.m. It looks like it's been peaceful in many areas, apart from a few arrests that police have made to us, like in Wasai Kropon, like in Okaikwe, and then this Nyankpala incident that is just coming in. We are told that, I mean, there was some disagreement between MPP and NDC supporters, and it led to the firing of gunshots that led to the injury to the death of 1 person and then 2 people injured, and the police have picked up those 4 people. We don't anticipate that with just about 2 hours to end polling, we should be hearing about these incidents. It's very sad.
Now, another security-related story, this time in Kintampo South, where a man has been arrested for possession of a weapon following a heated altercation with an EC official. Now, one would ask, why would one want to fight with an EC official, especially at a polling station? The man, identified as Michael Alote, is an NDC agent who demanded that pink sheets for sections A and B be completed before voting commenced. The situation escalated, leading to his arrest after police discovered he had a weapon. This raises concerns about security at polling stations. How do you think the measures by the security agencies have been so far?
I think to the extent that these are isolated cases, we'll say that it's been generally smooth. Perhaps going further, subsequent elections, even accredited journalists, those who get within the presence of the voting area, should be searched. Perhaps there should be a barricade where they can have at least some decent search to make sure that you don't have hidden weapon, knife, those things with very sharp, because you can never tell. You can never tell. It will probably be difficult to screen everybody. But if it becomes necessary, even anybody who is in queue to come and vote, we need to go through screening, because we don't want any side. The person could have pulled the trigger, and 1 life too many. We need to exercise our civic responsibility, but not at the expense of any life loss. But I'm happy that the security moved in. You always will have some very brazen party agents, even ordinary voters who sometimes, what do you call schoolboy stubbornness. They know what to do, but sometimes they just want the rules to be bent in their favor. But it's good that at each point you get the security apparatus moving in to nib it in the bud.
Still on security, the EC has addressed key questions regarding their role and security arrangements during the elections. The chairperson, Jan Mensah, provided critical updates during the EC's first media briefing today. Ms. Mensah made it clear that the EC is not responsible for security arrangements, which are handled by the National Election Security Task Force. She also addressed concerns about the military personnel at polling stations, stating that the Commission had no prior knowledge of such deployments. Given these clarifications, how do you think this will shape public perception of the EC's transparency and accountability? The EC says they were not aware that the military will be showing up or popping up at some of these polling stations.
Well, election security, like it has happened in all the elections I personally have covered from 2000, 2004, 2008, 2012, 2016, 2020, and this 2024. It has always been the preserve of the police. But what has happened in all these elections is that the military collaborates with the police. And they always tell us that the military only come in when the police calls on them. So the practice, per how the EC does, is that every polling station has a security person, an unarmed security person. The military is normally deployed to advantage areas, well armed, ready to be called to come in. So unless the police call the military men are not supposed to be at polling stations. We only see them at polling stations when there is a breach of the peace and they are called in. So in this instance, we have to really examine them. Did the police actually call them to come in to help, or they just moved in there? Because just yesterday, Brigadier General E. Agrikwashi, in charge of military public affairs, issued a statement and informed us about how they are deploying the military people and how it's going to work on election day.
I'd like to remind viewers that we are live at Daily Graphic on Facebook, Graphic Online TV on YouTube, and Graphic GH on X. To our next story, which is another quite interesting one, where SDA church members are balancing faith and their civic duties. We go to the Adenta constituency, where members of the SDA church are navigating the overlap of election day with their Sabbath traditions. The SDA leadership had raised concerns about this scheduling conflict, but ultimately left voting decisions to individuals. At the All Nations congregation, services began early and continued into the afternoon, with some worshippers planning to vote after church. Now, we all knew this day was coming. The SDA said they were not going to budge. But how significant is this going to be, especially the balance between civic duty and religious commitment in Ghanaian society, especially looking at the fact that there may come a time that December 7th will fall on a Sunday?
Let me take it. I was surprised it came up again, because we know that SDA adherence to that faith, the worship, Sabbath, that is Sabbath day.
Yes.
But to the extent that since 1992, and Enoch will bear me out, we've had election on each and every day. I think in 1996, election was on a Saturday, and we never had any complaints. And so we've had elections on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I know that somehow this one will pass, but they probably need to look up. Unfortunately for them, the 7th December date is enshrined in our constitution. We can't move it unless perhaps there's a referendum. I don't know how that one is going to play out, but we've had election on every day of the week. So I'm sure those who really want to do it will have to do it. You can't force it. Even if you're a registered voter, nobody can force you to go and exercise your civic duties. But I'm sure there's got to be that balance between civic and religious duties, and I'm sure those who are inclined to vote will really go and do it.
Enoch, do you foresee any concerns about this development affecting voter turnout on the whole?
Unless we do the figure, because we are still looking at what is actually happening at the polling stations in terms of the numbers of people that have turned up to vote. Since 2016, when we changed the notion of where people have to be in queues for long, and the EC decided that they were going to put a maximum of 700 people at a polling station in order to reduce the queues. You've seen that there are times you go to the polling stations and you don't see a long queue. But at the end of the day, when the figures comes out, you see that voter turnout was higher. With this election, we are yet to, with just about 2 hours to end, we are just to be able to tell whether turnout is good or not. And with SDA, well, it's likely the church advised that we are going to go to church, all right, but if you feel that you want to go and exercise your vote, go and exercise your vote. So it's expected that, yes, some will turn up and go and vote. It's still, we still have about 1 hour, 30 minutes to the close of the poll. So we are looking at the numbers and then see how voting will turn out.
Yeah, so before we pick our next report, I would like to remind viewers that we'll be reaching out to some of our regional correspondents in all the 16 regions of the country before this broadcast ends. So our next report covers the disruption caused by heavy rainfall in the Greater Accra region, particularly in the Dome-Kwabenya, Madina, and Trobo constituencies. While the rain has disrupted voting in several areas, it hasn't dampened the spirits of voters, who continue to cast their ballots. Let's dive deeper into the situation on the ground. Heavy rainfall began around 12:30 p.m., significantly affecting the voting process in several constituencies, including Dome-Kwabenya, Madina, and parts of Trobo in the Greater Accra region. Polling stations in areas like Taiman, Oyarifa, Ayimensa, Kweyman, Abokobi, and Sesame drew disruptions as voters sought shelter from the downpour. Despite the adverse weather, the atmosphere at many polling stations was calm and orderly in the day. At places like church premises, schools, and polling stations, which were serving as voting centers, the environment was peaceful and remained composed. The elements, these are things that you can't plan for all the time.
You can't plan for all the time, so you have to look at what happens, how long it rains, and then how the recovery period. But it was just for a few minutes, and after which voting continued. And to the extent that this time we have fewer people per polling station, we don't expect it to have a telling effect on the whole overall voting process. I think that these are things you cannot control. I mean, the weather, Meteo could have predicted it, but you can't control the weather. The elements are out of our reach. But the good thing is that it didn't last for long. After a few minutes, the process, after a little over an hour, the process continued. And it's not just at the Adenta. There were parts in the upper regions where there was a little rainfall disrupted for some minutes, and then after which the process continued.
So, Enoch, I would like to come with you. We have at least an hour and 20 minutes to go. So, what happens at 5 p.m.?
Well, what happens at 5 p.m. is that, like the EC always explains, and as part of the regulations, voting ends at 5 p.m. But that does not mean that if you are in the queue at 5 p.m., you will not vote. What happens, or what has happened in past elections, and this election is going to happen, is that at 5 p.m., the security man at the polling station, that is either a police officer, an immigration, a fire officer, or a customs officer, they would go and stand at the end of the queue. That means at 5 p.m., no new voter will be admitted into the queue. And they will wait until every voter in the queue has voted. That is, even if it is 500 people or more who are still in the queue, the presiding officer at the polling station would allow the person to cast their ballot. Once voting finishes, what happens is that they are going to remove the seals. You know, every candidate has their agents, their seals on the ballot box. They are going to remove them in the open, pour it out, and sort the ballot papers out, led by the presiding officer. You know, every police station has a presiding officer. And what the presiding officer will do is that he either have to decide to do the parliamentary first or the presidential first. But what normally happens is that many times when they do the presidential first, the jubilation begins to disturb them and all that. So they normally opt to go with the parliamentary first. They sort it out, then they will count and record it on the form, what we have come to know as the pink sheets. That's the Form 8. They will do that for the parliamentary, and they will do that for the presidential as well. When they finish, all the agents, per their statistics, they will have to account how many ballots were issued, what is the total valid votes, what is the total rejected votes, the spoiled ballots, and all that. Then they will append their signatures to it. Then the presiding officer will announce the results at the polling station, at the open, for all present to see the figures that came out of that particular polling station. After that, they will move to the constituency collation center and go and report to the district or the constituency returning officer, who will then receive every polling station and then record it on the form they call the collation sheet.
So he will record every polling station there. From there onwards, it's just calculation, mathematics, and adding it up. Once that is done, the agents would also be comparing the figures they are getting from their polling officers, from their agents from various polling stations, and then they will validate it. And then the returning officer would now go ahead, because this one is the entire constituency. So he can now go ahead and then declare the parliamentary elections, whoever has won. But for the presidential, the returning officer for the presidential is the EC chairperson. So the constituency coalition returning officers don't declare the presidential results, but they will announce for everybody to know that for this constituency, this is what the presidential candidate got. But that of the parliamentary one will be declared, and we can easily know whoever has won. And this process normally, per our past elections from 92 up till now, you see that it will happen between 5 and then 8 p.m. So from 8 p.m. onwards, we will be able to begin to know which MP has won, where and there and all that. Once they are doing that, the EC in 2020 introduced another level. Previously, the returning officer would just have sent the results directly to Accra, the head office, in what used to be known as the strong room. But this time around, the EC has broken the process. So it will now go to the regional collation center, where within the region, they will put all the presidential ballots together before this, the presidential results together before it is sent to Accra, to the returning officer. Once they put those ones, or once they are aggregating that, then we can be seeing the figures, the percentages, what each and every one is getting. And that is what normally takes us the whole night to be able to see what is happening. And in past elections, sometimes on the 8th, yes, you may begin to be able to have an idea of where it is going. And it's expected that maximum by the 9th, that is Monday, the EC should be able to have all those results and will be able to declare. But if everything goes smoothly, we may not even go up to the 9th. When you enter the 8th, the EC may be able to declare. Or at least, you see, while these things are also going, the various parties are also putting their figures together, and the media are also putting their figures together. So we can project and be able to tell where the presidential election is going. So that is what is going to happen from 5 p.m. throughout the night till Sunday morning.
Yeah, so before we head over to Mr. Kwanzaa for his presentation on some interesting stats and figures on today's election, we have a statement just coming in from the Electoral Commission, a press release signed by Samuel Tete, the Deputy Chairman of Operations. Now, the statement reads, incident with ballot issuer at temporary booth Bayere polling station. The Electoral Commission has received a report from its Bono East Regional Directorate confirming that a ballot issuer at the temporary booth Bayere polling station in the Kintampo South district tore off the head of the presidential candidate of the NPP party while issuing 15 ballot papers to voters. The ballot issuer, Mr. Derry, has since been arrested by the police. The Commission will cooperate fully with the police to get to the bottom of the matter. The Commission wants all EC officials who violate our processes and electoral laws will be prosecuted. The Commission further warns that it will not shield any election officials who misconduct themselves during the election. We urge the public to remain calm and report any incident to the police or call the Commission on its toll-free number 0800-324-324. Thank you. Signed, Samuel Tete, Deputy Chairman of the Electoral Commission. We also have another statement just coming in to us from the studio, this time from the New Patriotic Party. Let me just pull that up now. Okay, so this statement is not signed per what the producer has shared, but it reads, Dear citizens, thank you for coming out in your numbers to vote. We are over halfway through the voting, so if you haven't done so, we urge you to go out and cast your vote. We commend the EC and security agencies for the job done so far. Voting queues have been reduced due to the increased number of polling stations, and although there have been some delays in voting at some polling stations, the process has been relatively smooth. However, there have been incidents that should give Ghanaians great cause for concern. In Kintampo South constituency, the police arrested an EC official, Mr. Derry Joseph, for deliberately tearing off Dr. Baumia's photo on 15 ballot papers, rendering them invalid. We would like to commend the Ghana Police Service for their prompt action in arresting Mr. Derry Joseph. The NPP is calling for his prosecution as he sought to disenfranchise voters and deny them of their fundamental human right to vote. In another worrying incident, Mr. Charles Fokuo, the son of NDC Etrima Kwanoma constituency youth organizer, had in his possession 76 printed ballot papers, thumb-printed in favor of the NDC candidates. He tried to stab the ballot box with them, but was caught and arrested. When questioned by the police, he alleged that his father, Fokuo, the NDC constituency youth organizer, gave him the ballot papers and instructed him to stab them into the ballot box. We are therefore calling on the Ghana Police Service to swiftly prosecute him and his accomplices. These examples above are those who have been caught. It is our belief that the NDC is engaged in an attempt to disenfranchise as many voters as possible using their old tactics. However, they are failing because of the vigilance of party agents and the EC. Yeah, so that's just an excerpt of the EC statement. And I would like to know, so we just explored how SDHH members in Adenta are balancing worship and voting. This is a reminder to our viewers to stay calm and report any suspicious activities. And most importantly, exercise your right to vote peacefully. I'm just waiting for the signal from the producers if we'll be reaching out to our reporters in the regions to pick a live update if we are ready to pick them up. Yeah, so let's pick Mr. Kwanzaa, if you can give us your presentation on some of the key stats of today's election.
Yes, because we have a bigger voter population, this time we're going to see the biggest number. And I just want to share with you, we're going to have a little over 2,600 new voters. And I want to give you a regional breakdown of the first-time voters, those between 18 and 21. The biggest region will be the Ashanti region, which has 465,224 new voters. That's people within the age bracket of 18 and 21, first-time voters. And then the Greater Accra comes in second with 240,774. These are statistics given by the Electoral Commission that represent a 14.7% increase. We look at Ashanti region, that was a 15.4% increment. We have the Central region that has 233,422 new voters. And then we can go to Bono, 105,787. I'm saying this because when you look at the campaign messages, it was particularly targeted at the youth, whether you want to call digitalization. So there was particular concentration on them because you have over 2,600. In fact, the official statistics given by the Electoral Commission tells us that we have 2,635,050 new voters. That's very significant. And you need to do some targeting. So it's grown all over. You go to the northern region, it has 222,740. The Upper East, for instance, Upper East has 117,730. So there are very interesting statistics, and then so it informs the kind of messaging we've seen. Now let's look at the regional breakdown for the adult population. Let's shift to the adult population, those between 56 and 65-year-olds. We have 1,289,491. That's also significant. And when you look at the increment, the Ashanti region alone has 230,618, followed by the Greater Accra region, In fact, the Greater Accra has the highest, 240,791, followed by the Ashanti region, 230,618. And so you can look at them. The Upper West, for instance, has 34,750. So for the political parties and the trying to work your mind around all these demographics, shaping your campaign messages is something huge. Now let's look at the 18 to 35. 18 to 35, that's the Gen Zs, or it cuts through the Gen Zs.
No, it cuts through the
Gen Zs into the millennials.
Yes. We
have very interesting. The Greater Accra alone, 18 to 35, you have 1,940,380. Let's move to the Ashanti region. 1,665,615. So you can as well understand why the presidential candidates have been working around the Ashanti and Greater Accra region. Huge numbers. And for this demographics, we have as many as 9,375,515 voters. That's about 55.1%. You've got to target very well. Else you are going to lose, and they are very significant. We are talking about very significant numbers. We can sway the election. You go to a place like the Eastern region, for instance, they have 832,854 people. You go to the Northern region, 658,755. And you know, these, apart from the Greater Accra, probably the Central region and some of those swing states, the Ashanti region is the New Patriotic Party's stronghold, and the Eastern region is the Great New Patriotic Party's stronghold. The Upper Northern region, for instance, the NDC. So these are areas that they've been working hard. So the NPP, for instance, the NDC, for instance, have also been working, concentrating on Eastern and the Ashanti region, because they know that if they're able to bring the numbers down, then it improves their chances. So that 18 to 35-year-old, that's a very significant demographic.
Yeah.
And then that's another one. The 66 to 75-year-old represent 3.7% of the voters, 628,099. And of course, the Greater Accra, Ashanti, Eastern, and the Northern regions, they have very high numbers. So, like I said, we have the total valid voters, a little over 17 million, the highest we've ever had. It's also because when you look at the population per the recent census, and those within the voting age is very high. And so those are some of the breakdowns we have for you. Yeah. Look, in terms of gender statistics, this time we have more female voters than male.
Yeah.
Of course, it makes sense because per the gender balance in across the country, we have more females than male. For this election, we have 8,810,283 females, as against 8,217,358 males. So the males represent 48.26% of voters, and then the females 51.7%. A total of 17,227,641 voters.
Yeah, so I've just received a signal from our producer. We are trying to reach out to our regional correspondents to give us the latest updates of the polling stations where they find themselves. And I would like to remind viewers that it's 3:50 p.m. It means we have an hour and 10 minutes for voting to close across the country. We are trying to reach out to
Sorry,
Gifty
the person you
Owusu-Ama,
called.
usually with our showbiz desk. If we can't raise Gifty on the line, we'll move on to the next person. We'll be touching base all the 16 regions of our country. So let's reach out to Haruna in the Eastern region. Yeah, so we're reaching out to Haruna, who's been moving around the Eastern region, touching base with all the relevant polling stations, speaking to party agents, speaking to newsmakers, speaking to politicians, the clergy. You'll be reaching out. We'll be trying to raise him on the phone line soon.
But quickly, whilst you try to reach them, it's very significant, at least from reports monitoring. We haven't had a lot of disturbances, which is very good from flashpoint like Odedudiodo, places like Krowo, Aswansi in the Ashanti region. I don't know what you've picked up, but so far we haven't had a lot of negative news from those areas.
But looking a bit ahead, Mr. Kwanzaa, how soon are you expecting the results?
How soon am I
Especially with regards to the presidential?
The presidential, if we don't have a lot of disputes, by 8 p.m., 9 p.m., we should have. I think we've improved the system such that I believe even with the political parties, they all have their own working areas. They are able to collate results after it's declared. So by the time it even gets to the regional coalition centers, they always will have a sense of how it's going, the trend. So I believe by 9 p.m. we should start having some results from constituencies, from polling stations. So I expect a pretty fast the results should come in pretty fast compared to even what happened in 2020.
Okay, that's fantastic. We are still working the phones, trying to raise up our correspondents in the region. So we'll move on to another story as we await for such reports. And Mr. Kwanzaa, what have you made so far of the media? You know, we are, in fact, this is our day. Aside the Electoral Commission, this is the day of the media. What have you made of the coverage in general?
I think so far the coverage has been good. Over the years, there's been a lot of sensitization, media training on reportage, do's and don'ts. So for each passing election cycle, we see improved quality presentation, and almost everybody is a very competitive field, so everybody is trying to outdo each other. So we see media houses, the big media houses like Graphic Communication, like the state broadcaster, which have nationwide reach, putting correspondents virtually all over. So it's been good. Also, because of the vigilance of the media, we are able to report some of these incidents, isolated incidents, across the country, and then we have the police and the security agencies, and then the Electoral Commission moving in. So I think the input of the media over the years has helped in our democratic journey, and I think kudos to us. It's not been an easy process. That's why this year, when there was a little disturbance regarding accreditation and access, we had to flag it, and there was a lot of back and forth with the EC, and today we have the whole process open up to the media. So I think it's helped in pushing our democratic credentials, because there's greater scrutiny in everything. Anytime there is a flash, any disturbance, you get it, breaking news, just as we've done here. And I think it's been a big contributory factor to where we've come so far.
So let's go to the Ashanti region, where we'll be looking at some of the visuals, some high-profile personalities that voted earlier. So let's take a look at the Asante Inyo 2 the second voting earlier today, showing that we are all involved in this democratic program. Yeah, so that's the Asante Inyo going through the process, as some bloggers will say, like an ordinary Ghanaian. Asante Inyo going through the process of voting, checking his name. So that's coming from the Ashanti region. Who knows the police station? Waiting for information from our producer. Asante Inyo.
Followed by the wild lady
Yes,
Julia.
yeah, that's the wild lady Julia. Very nice scenes earlier from the Ashanti region.
That's the Bensha constituency.
That's Asante Inyo voting in the Bensha. So you can see a lot of media interest, a lot of the subjects also. The Asante Inyo goes through the process. And I'm told we also have visuals of Sam George also going through the same voting process. Yes, so he granted an interview after voting.
It tells a lot, but it reveals a lot, but it conceals very vital things. You're talking percentages. I look at absolute numbers, real numbers. A bikini. It tells a lot, but it doesn't. It also reveals a lot, but it conceals very vital things. You're talking percentages. I look at absolute numbers, real numbers, because elections are not about percentages; they're about numbers. And so, yes, he may have been in the 70s, but his last performance was 22,000 votes. That was in 2012. In 2016, when I came in, when the NDC was losing votes across the country, I polled 26,000. In 2012, my predecessor beat the NPP with a margin of 3,400. In 2016, when I came, when the NDC was losing across the country, I polled 26,000, 4,000 more than him, but beat the NPP with a margin of 10,000. In 2020, yes, I had 69.8%, but I polled 50,000 votes for the presidential and almost 49,000 in the parliamentary. Beat the NPP with a margin of almost 30,000. So I took it from 3,400. So you look at the percentages and say maybe my predecessor was doing better, but he had a gap between him and the NPP of 3,400. I beat the NPP in my last election with a gap of almost 30,000. There are constituencies in this country where the total voter register is less than 30,000.
Getting the nod for a third term, what's the way forward?
Well, it's an indictment on the government, not on the MP. The MP is not responsible for roads. That's why the government has a minister for roads. In Parliament, I approved the budget 8 times for the Minister of Roads. The government set up a year of roads like a Kumawood movie, Year of Roads Part 1 and 2. Where are the roads? What did they do? They should show us the roads. The road from Old Ningo to Ahuam that we drove on to this place is awarded on contract. So it's not that Sam George hasn't lobbied. I lobbied and got it awarded on contract in 2022. The contractor has not been paid. So as the MP, my job is to lobby. I have lobbied a contractor is on that road. His name is IB Megida. He's not being paid. The Ministry of Finance is refusing to pay him. So as the MP, I've done my job. I've lobbied. The contractor is on the road. Pay him to do the job. That's government. And that's a failure of the government. You understand me? Afianya Dowenya Road, there's a contractor on it. His name is Simain Ghana Limited. He's failing to do the job. So the MP has done his job when it comes to getting the roads awarded on contract. From Prampram to Pone, I got IB Megida again awarded a contract, 78 million Ghana cedis. The MP has done his job. It's up to the PP candidate contesting me, has been the MPP constituency chairman for 8 years. His party has been in government. They failed to fix the roads. Even when the MP has lobbied to get the roads awarded on contract, as the MPP candidate or chairman, he's failed to get anything done for his poly road, Old Ningo to Mango Chenya Road, and then the Afienya to Dodowa Road. Those are critical roads. And New Jerusalem to Apollonia. These are roads that I will fight for under the NDC. So it's not going to be that my parties come to government and so I'm going to relax. No, I'm going to take my advocacy that you see today on that minister. He has to get the roads done for.
How far would you push it? The president, your candidate, when he was interviewed on the BBC, he said he will now look into what is in that bill.
You know, that's a misconception that's been put out. And I
So that was Sam George, who you just heard from. Usual in a firebrand manner, He's contesting Ningo Prampram, seeking re-election. He's contesting against his main candidate is the NPP's Michael Tete Oku. So we see how that contest will play out at the end of polls at 5 p.m. today. So let's move on and listen to Ernest Henry Nogbe. He is the MP for the Ashaiman constituency. He will also be sharing his thoughts on how today's polls played out from the polling stations he visited and how he has seen the whole process so far. Let's listen to Mr. Henry Nogbe.
So, what's your impression so far?
Well, so far, so good. Per what I've seen so far, the process is moving on smoothly and everything is going on as planned. What is the challenge here is the turnout, and which I know very well. In the due course, people may turn out to vote because there's this clamor that we need to change this government, this current government, so people cannot sit at home and change the government by mouth. So they must come here and exercise their franchise. But as I said earlier, so far so good. Everything is moving on smoothly. The security agencies, they are also working. The Electoral Commission, all the areas that I've taught so far, the BVD machines are working. And I think so far so good.
Are you sure you're going to win this election?
Oh, why not? It's more than the word sure. And it's more than the word sure that John Mahama is also going to win, no matter the situation, because this government has failed the good people of Ghana. And for that matter, they have lost confidence in the presidency. That is the NPP government. And the same thing trickles down to the MPs. We are going to get majority of MPs in parliament, and John Mahama will also win because of his track record from 2012 to 2016. What he did in Mother Ghana, in Ghana here, is a testimony for every Ghanaian. And as Ernest Nogbe, the MP for Ashama, what I did in Ashama, as I always say, supersedes that what the central government of the NPP did in Ashama. So why not? The good people of Ashama will still repose that confidence in me, and the good people of Ghana will repose the same confidence in President John Dramani Mahama. By the close of the day, we will be the victors.
What margin are you looking at this time?
We are looking at over 100,000 votes. 2020, we had 76,000 votes. And the work we have done on the ground and moving from house to house, talking to people and making them know, aware that this government has failed, and they are also feeling it in their pocket. They are feeling it.
Mr. Henry Nogbe, he's the NDC parliamentary candidate and the incumbent for Ashaiman. Now let's take a listen to his opposite number, Mr. Justice King SL. He's the parliamentary candidate for Ashaiman, running on the ticket of the New Patriotic Party.
Really fine. The process has been very peaceful. People have waited for this day, but we're thinking that for a weekend, you get a lot of people turning out to vote. Turnout has been quite low, but the day is so young, and we hope that we should be able to make for about some 75% voter turnout by the close of the day.
Do you believe this is going to affect you if they don't probably show up in their numbers?
No. Ashama is poised to make a change. Ashama wants a homeboy. Enough of people who present us and cannot be able to speak for us. So Ashama want to go for number one, the homeboy, and go for number one, Mr. Digital Man. And that is a decision that our people have made. And by the close of the ballot, by the close of the poll today, it resonates clearly that there's a change in Ashama.
Your contender says
the canvassing for votes is part of the things that every person going for an election should do. And so you have to get mobilizers who go on the ground to get people to come out to vote or do the Go TV. And so what he's doing is not unique to his strategy. It's something that is general. And so we are all doing something similar to ensure that people wake up to their civic responsibilities. So what he has said is not anything new. Like I said, my expectation was that because it's a weekend, a lot of people will come out to vote very early. And as at the time I went around 4 a.m., even in some areas, I saw people trying to queue up And so I was thinking it will be a day where a lot of people will be coming out to vote in their numbers. But unfortunately, that is not the case. I believe there could be many other reasons for this that we are not privy to. But generally, if I look at the tally sheets from this particular polling station, we have about 200 voters averagely. And as at this time, 2 o'clock, we've done about something close to, we are close up to 60, 70.
Let's take a listen to Dr. Zaneto Ajiman Rawlings, the eldest daughter of our former president, Jerry John Rawlings. She's the MP for Korle Klottey. She'll be telling us about the electoral process so far in her constituency.
Well, we've actually witnessed some incidents happening in some of the other polling stations where some people have been actually giving money to people in the queues and telling them which way to vote. We've actually had to confront some persons at one of the polling stations and insisted that the EC and the police actually remove the person from the premises because they were actually pushing people to vote a particular way, which is not right under electoral regulations.
So have the police taken action?
Well, at the specific polling station, yes, but I don't think this is a good trend. But hopefully we will just continue to be vigilant and make sure that the process is free and fair and devoid of vote buying and bullying. You can only do what we say or what we see. So we have our polling agents who are there, and of course citizens who are on the premises who, on going to vote, are either being harassed or being offered money, and based on that we're making reports on that. And so what we are doing is we're taking notes of the Electoral Commission representatives at those various polling stations because we intend to complain. We'll just pass on this information to the party election directorate so that this can be addressed. We expect that people recognizing that this is a very crucial election will understand that no matter how much money people offer them to buy their votes today, nothing can make up for the last 8 years, nor can it make up for whatever lies ahead in the next 4 years. The decision that we make this year is one of conscience and one of recognizing the reality of where we are in Ghana today, and whether as Ghanaians we understand the importance of.
So now let's take a look at one of the presidential candidates in this year's election, Nana Kwame Bediako, alias Cheddar, who also voted earlier in the day. Yes, so Cheddar is the leader of the New Force movement. He wasn't able to get on the ballot as a political party, but he's on the ballot as an independent candidate. So that's he voting over there. I think that he voted on the GIJ campus, it looks like. So that's Nana Kwame Bediako, independent candidate. So let's head for a quick commercial break where when we get back, I'll let you know what you can expect for the rest of our coverage and the rest of the day. We'll be with you till the final results are declared. Let's take this commercial break.
Is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact, and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies, The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com. as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home sweet home. Welcome family and friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications. Graphic, truth and accuracy every day. Information is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact, and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies, The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com. graphicnewsplus.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home sweet home. Welcome family and friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications. Graphic, truth and accuracy every day. Information is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home sweet home. Welcome family and friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications. Graphic, truth and accuracy every day. Information is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on...
Welcome back from that commercial break. Like I said, Graphic News Plus, that should be your one-stop shop for all news related to today's elections. And I'd like to let you know that when we sign off, we'll be having an Akan language broadcast of all the day's happenings in the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections. So thank you for joining us on Ghana Votes. Stay tuned for more coverage as events unfold. Until then, I'm Kweku Zurek, joined by my co-host
Maurice Kwanzaa.
See you in the next 1 hour.
Is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home sweet home. Welcome family and friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications. Graphic, truth and accuracy every day. Information is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home sweet home. Welcome family and friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications. Graphic, truth and accuracy every day. Information is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home sweet home. Welcome family and friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications. Graphic, truth and accuracy every day. Information is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com HomeSweetHomeBokumFamilyandFriends.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home Sweet Home, Bokum Family and Friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications. Graphic, truth and accuracy every day. Information is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home Sweet Home, Bokum Family and Friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications. Graphic, truth and accuracy every day. Information is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home Sweet Home, Bokum Family and Friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications. Graphic, truth and accuracy every day. Information is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home Sweet Home, Bokum Family and Friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications. Graphic, truth and accuracy every day. Information is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home Sweet Home, Bokum Family and Friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications. Graphic, truth and accuracy every day. Information is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home Sweet Home, Bokum Family and Friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications. Graphic, truth and accuracy every day. Information is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact, and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home sweet home. Welcome family and friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications. Graphic, truth and accuracy every day. Information is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact, and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home sweet home. Welcome family and friends. Choose the bundle that
Ebusian for your mama akwaba Edeba Graphic Online TV. So me no mienu nim se enne anagana yede ye about no eye election 2024 no ahehye so. Na Graphic Online ye se ye beba mo update de ebesia ni de esi fitiana pana ekopem imra ye be collation ni na ya count papers no ye de eho update ebe bremo nti ye be show se odi we fidie no ebe to hase. Na enne mini minia be ma Mr. K ana yede ene election 2024 update no na ene abato no ye share asie anopa be 7 AM na so far so good de bibia akototen ye reporters na omo etc abonten so no ye tietie omo enum semeni omo reporter omo de ba ya so far so good de abato no ye ante basabasa ye anase ye ante me ho ase wo bibia na emom ye kopie mo e wo western region ebe ye nya ntie se na obi a owo ho no mu no na opese oye double voting na ye kopie mo nso e wo latabi okoshin so just ono nso oto na aba na ewie na ne ballot paper no ono nso otwa eho infoni na eye security agency metra abambofo na omo wasa bia ye hono mo omo nsa e kan no na omo sese ye to aba ne wia omo ne no ebedi ye pan ifi se de waye no enye ade a efamra kwan so no ebiomo nso yeti ekọ Madina ene eho importem hono mo nsa yesi insuo eto wo hono mo ye pa ye Madina domi kwabinya sorry Madina domi kwabenya eni trobo saa area hono mo nso insuo kakra eto wo hono mama anka omo abato na omo to no na anka eya se ne kakra nsisi a ye no mo eka sei de insuo na ejaya omo etimi ato omo aba no kama na ebiomo nso ye beka ya eye ndra yenya eye nkrate bi efi Ministry of Interior omo so omo de nkrate bi ebeto abonte ani na efa abato no omo say esen abato a Ghana ye to no indenti eye borders no omo aclose no nti mu amowo Burkina Togo any Ivory Coast untimi mba wonso a untimi nko nti ebia wo Burkina na o ye wadwen so beba Ghana enya ade a ebesi na wo Togo nso na opese o ba Ghana anase o fi Ghana e ko Togo nso a enya ade a sanso ebesi wo Ivory Coast nso opese o ba Ghana anase wo fi Ghana akọ Ivory Coast nso enya ade a sa ebesi esanse omo tutu borders no because of 2024 election na ye de ehhehye so ende no na sa adi by eye kwesiada 6 PM there na omo ebie ano na ende ye reporters no se na mekae no omo etc constituencies ni name na se na mekae ne di abato no akototen abibia ekoyi wona no mo ye double voting wona no mo twitwa omo ballot papers ni na abambofo no ensa eche omo a ensa eka omo a chese ye ne omo ebedi enti se na mekae kan no meni minya be ma Mr. K ana ye de ene update no election 2024 ebrego
na ye hwe enen so a ye EC chairperson ye Mami Jane Mensa ye press conference ene obiem to was election coalition center no national one ye biem ama obi bia o media house bia betumi aba ho no abaye den abefa de ekoso nyina ye be kai hu se eda enra anase be na watwi mu ye ka se EC ho no obema limited number of people na betumi about na chese nipa kakra bi na betumi about nanso omo ye consultation na omo dwendwen hu no mahu se da bi e wo se omo san ko omo chi no mo ma amanfo bebre etumi eba.
Okay, na sa easy video na I think say video ewo honomo, right? Yeah. And to say your producer and star I ready and na star kan ka yebetimi ahwe easy video na omo cheche insemo. Okay, inti answer ebe share sa video no ene eye vice president Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia no na Otu Franka ede ama New Patriotic Party eye MPP amanyoko no ene ono nso okoto na bakama ewo wale o share ye kanima mpeni ana ye vice president Mahmoud Bawumia ono nso wagigi mu kama ono nso oto na aba no wie nso okasa kakra o kase e wo so obia etimi ede ne nsa ehye afi abatum na ye na yetimi eto se na emma basabasa ya na ase afi abatum no ebe kototen
na yebesa ehun se ye vice former president John Dramani Mahama ono so ko ni krom bole bamboy ekoto na ba na before obo ko ni krom hono ofa ne papa nna so ekobom pae kakra esre ni nhira se ne papa no enwa no na ontumi ndi abato no enne nti ofi hono enoko bole bamboy district office police station bi wo hono hono koto na ba kama osere se bibia enkoso totin obi anto na bayi na bambofo no so enye den omo so nye omedwuma yi se na pepe ye en bibia be kama ewo afi abato yi.
Okay, inti say ye to aswa yeguswa eto abana abato na eguswa koso no MPP press conference ewie ya na press conference ndo mo kasa bebre ohwe kratan omode aba abonten a chese ni na efa election 2025 abato na koso ewo impeso so bebre na se constituencies ni na no eno ana MPP for ana se MPP amanyoko no omoye eho press conference na press conference ni ehwe de koso ewo Kintampo a omonso omo kan eho asem kakra obi be bisa se de na ekoso ewo Kintampo yeko piemu ewo Kintampo a aba beto dwa se ye EC official bi ana chese no so wa ono nkasa printing ne ballot papers na all che say I don't know the internet all che papers ni mo ba me I think say papers na makoma be 15 right. Yeah, anana all che ama enkronfo no so no na sa ballot papers no so che na nya ade efi sa EC fo no hono mo ati ase ana no ankasa ko print ne ballot papers a ono ankasa echa no nso no etiamra chese me sure say ye de abato ni bia ebe wie ya a police for anasa bambo for no omune no ebedi ye pa enti ebia ye de press release na say press conference na MPP for no ye eto screen so amu be hu de MPP for ekan
na yeko etifido mantem hon so a ye kro bi e wo ayefe ne nankpala ya nyante se nipa baako ahwe ne nkwa nipa miensa ene enan so esu prepra den ne baaye yese mentumi ho ase bi sie between MPP ene NDC for na mentumi ho ase na course ntem amanfo twetwe tu e ma pepe e course na ni na course wie na nipa baako ahwe ne nkwa ede na ko krabia se ye ko hwe ne se na ebi kra ne yi. Police for also release statement on that. Almost so much nipa be 4. Omo kan basabasa na course no match omo say omombra na omombe boa na omonye nhwehwemu. De besi bia no graphic online TV e bebo mu muaye account.
Okay, so na Mr. K e kan ye de besi bia no eye den ye graphic online TV e de ho update ebebremo aha election 2025 ye de ebremo ewo graphic online TV so na ene minimini abema
Mr. K
ana ye de ene election 2024 no ebrem na mpacho answer na ye beko no e wo mu se aka sima kakra na 5 p.m. abo na ebia wo line mu na ebia na wo hwen e wo phone so a because aka say ebo 5 p.m. na say ya ye de abato no ebebe wi no wo line mu ebo 5 p.m. still na wo akwanya say obetimi ato wa ba enso wo fie na ebia obedru bebia obeto wa ba na 5 p.m. no abo etwema enya ade aye be ma nkwan na wetimi ato wa ba ntite wo fie na opese oto aba na make sure say obetrumika yepa na wetimi akwa akoto waba. Make sure say obe following or your social media platform ni na make sure you go so at the election 2024 update ebe brom into make sure enchim we fidie do enko bibia na ansa na yebe kono nso no otumfo nso ababe kasa yebe hwe se na ekoye. Okay, ye papa otumfa owo asante mem ono nso ekoto na aba kama nti ye behwe se okay, nti se o hwe efidie no so a ye wura sei tutu otumfa otoso menu ono ana oto na aba kama chese ye nkofo edinichi ah no so to na aba nti so wo fie na yan kase papa to na aba ye na esi ukwan se won so kwa okay, nti se na me kan na video na ehwe na ye papa otumfo ana ono so wakwa akoto na aba kama yeguso a ma update ewo election 2024 ewo graphic online TV. So my name is K and ene the update ebreo.
Mabena asem ba ko a pese e card chama phone say about one yen tokwa. About one so nye second twetwe ni ade. Kwana ko kire wadwen. Ebo 5 a sana me nua abakan. Wo queue ni mu nko ade a obeto. Se mu ye 100 kura na mu queue ni na mu ne na mo beto. Na mu oto aba wi na obetumi akofi. Umpese obekofi na pese wo hono ma. Enye basa ye bo abana na woni pe wi ni a wajiweni onipa nwini ya na odore hwekufi enye basa bia Ghana no yo ba kope ni Ghana biem enka we ho nti bia
I think so because easy aba be ka say sisi ade obia mama won kan say obia betimi akọ air coalition center hono so obi be fin say ono nso wo be bia nso ono nso betimi ewura hobi
debi onye nsem troni na woni media house bia na yema accreditation mesre enkohoma police ni nkwachew because police ni chi when na ochina obesen dem Monday ansana asembeba
one dancer you
sabe pepe
it was out for a high graphic online TV streaming live or Facebook on so it is obetimi ahwe or Facebook and I say YouTube on so me that say o jemre ehwe be koso a election 2024 update about the song yakramo.
Is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home sweet home. Welcome family and friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications. Graphic, truth and accuracy every day. Information is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home sweet home. Welcome family and friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications. Graphic, truth and accuracy every day. Information is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com graphic.newsplus.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home sweet home. Welcome family and friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications. Graphic. Truth and accuracy every day. Information is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact, and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home sweet home. Welcome family and friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications. Graphic. Truth and accuracy every day. Information is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact, and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home sweet home. Welcome family and friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications. Graphic. Truth and accuracy every day. Information is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact, and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home sweet home. Welcome family and friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications. Graphic. Truth and accuracy every day. Information is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact, and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www